Welcome to Wout of the World, and in this episode we're still in Sri Lanka in one of the most beautiful mountain towns called Ella, and we make the most beautiful train ride in the entire world. As always, here is a recap first of what you saw so far on the incredible journey through Sri Lanka. On the south coast we visited the colonial town of Gala, in combination with the best beaches around Marissa. From our villa in Ahangama, we grabbed a taxi all the way to the Yala National Park, one of the best places in the world for a safari. We now say goodbye to all these beautiful animals. We had a fun time over here, but we're traveling on through Sri Lanka. And the next adventure is a big one as well, because we're traveling the most beautiful train route in Sri Lanka and one of the best in the entire world. So stay tuned. We pack our bags, say goodbye to the friendly safari guys, and prepare for a totally new adventure. This time we head up north a little, to the most famous train station in all of Sri Lanka, situated in the steep mountains of the town called Ella.
When I'll be coming home, then I'll be at your door. When I'll be coming home.
We stopped for a moment on the way because we can see an enormous waterfall along the roadside on our way to Ella. This is the Ravana waterfall.
The wish I carry high whenever we're apart.
The first example of the incredible nature we can find in the central highland region of Sri Lanka.
When I look deep into your eyes.
This mountain pass is also known as the Ella Gap, and we spent the coming days discovering the best places inside it.
When I look deep into your eyes.
Okay, we go? We go? Okay.
When I'll be coming home, and I am on my way. When I'll be coming home.
The species of monkeys we see here is the tokmakak, and they are abundant. This old world monkey is endemic to Sri Lanka and can be recognized by its awesome haircut.
I'm followed by your light whenever we're apart. It takes me through the night when I look deep into your eyes.
We pass the town of Ella, but we drive up to a steep mountain first. Even our experienced driver is getting a bit nervous as the roads become smaller and smaller. So we are driving up the mountain from the little town of Ella, and our hotel is on the most ridiculous place. Very, very steep roads, and our driver thought we were crazy. But he asked everybody on the way and they said, yeah, you can go there, you can go there. So we're almost there, like little by little, very slowly. And we have the most amazing place with the most amazing view here in Ella. I don't know how we're gonna go down again, but I love it here.
when I look deep into your eyes.
Yeah, these roads might not be minivan proof.
Turns out that the last part is too steep to get up there with the taxi van. So we're gonna walk, take all the stuff from there. It's going back down.
Deep into your eyes.
Wil blij? So then we finally arrive at Pearl View Guest House, which is the hotel I was talking about at the impossible place with the great view. I'll show you the room straight away. Let's go. Hey, Lini!
Away from all the hustle, we pay only $30 a night, including breakfast, on the first row overlooking the Ella Gap and the tall mountain peaks. This is that typical quiet place that you can fall in love with. In Sri Lanka, the animals are always there, everywhere.
So we just walked down a bunch of stairs and across the street we find the restaurant called Serenity. And this is what I call dinner with a view. Look at this.
Oh, and meet our new pet.
Say something meaningful, say something I don't know. I wanna know you better. The way that you talk.
Over a steep stairs through the lush cloud forest, we are close to one of the best restaurants in Ella.
I wanna put you in that spotlight, looking at you all night. Put you in that spotlight. Oh, you make me feel right. Wanna look at you all night. Put you in that spotlight. Oh, you know you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful.
The food is great, but the view is heaven.
Like you're untouchable.
So picturesque and hey, come on guys, there are kids around.
I'll sing until my lungs give out. You're beautiful.
We walk back through the dark to find out that our friends picked up some leeches on those moist stairs. And the next day it's time to grab a tuk-tuk around the area.
Oh, you make me feel right. Wanna look at you all night. Wanna put you in that spotlight. you know you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful. And it's like you're untouchable. Like you're untouchable. Don't you know you know you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful. I'll sing until my lungs give out. You're beautiful.
So the hip little village that we're visiting inside the mountain landscape of Sri Lanka is called Ella. And there's a lot of beautiful things to see in the area, so I would stay a couple of days if you have the time. You can see waterfalls, tea plantations, big mountains and extraordinary views. But the town itself is also very nice with a lot of cool places. It's basically one street with cool restaurants and bars, and we're going up the rooftops. Let's go!
I wanna put you in that spotlight, looking at you all night, all night. I'll sing until my lungs give out. You're beautiful.
These rooftop bars are a great place to meet travelers, to soak up the mountain sun and taste all kinds of delicious and quite affordable food. Apart from that, Ella is merely one street from where all the trips start. We do some shopping here to prepare for the coming days full of trips around Ella.
Good morning! We got beautiful weather today and it's time to discover the area around Ella. And for that we have a minivan for today. And the first stop will be something with a beautiful train ride. Let's go!
By the way, who needs a train with this awesome 1988 Toyota Master Ace Surf? Funny fact, this is what Murray drives in Stranger Things. In about 15 minutes, the Stranger Things Toyota drops us at the best photo spot in Ella. We walk another 10 minutes to get to this abandoned train bridge. Or is it?
In just a couple of days we embark upon the most adventurous train ride in Sri Lanka and one of the most beautiful train rides in the entire world, when we go from Ella to Kandy, through the mountains and everything. But before that I want to show you a little sneak preview. I'm standing on top of the most beautiful bridge on the track. It's just outside of Ella and it's called the Nine Arch Bridge. It was built in British colonial times and it's a true engineering wonder. So we can actually walk on top of it before the train comes and then see the train passing.
such a strange phenomenon. Dozens of people are still walking the bridge and the train is coming. I have to say, it's an incredible sight though. This is a must visit for every train enthusiast, I guess. We hang around and prepare for the second train. If you are here between 8 and 10 in the morning, you get to see them both. The second train takes all the time in the world for both passengers and tourists to take some pictures. Back to the Murray-mobile, because the next top sights await. Around Ella, the main activity to do is hiking. There are so many beautiful viewpoints to walk to, easy hikes, difficult hikes, hikes that you can do all day, but we chose one that's fairly easy of half an hour. So we start right near the city center in Ella to Little Adams Peak. So in 30 minutes we'll be up there to have a beautiful panoramic view of 360 degrees to the entire area. Let's go. We hike approximately 1.5 kilometers one way to the summit at 1141 meters. The way over there is also quite beautiful. So even though it's just half an hour to get up there, when it's sunny, it's really steep and it's quite exhausting. So we're almost halfway, I guess. Whew. View is getting better by the minute. Made it!
We made it up here within half an hour, I guess. It was very hard, very warm, but this is the first view that we get. It's amazing. And you see Ella Rock over there, and the abyss is very deep. It's really scary to stand there actually. But the view, it's incredible. Woo! We made it! Woo!
We got nowhere to be.
So, without further ado, this is Little Adam's Peak. I'll shut up now and let you guys enjoy.
The world outside can't wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds. Your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be. Got nowhere to be. Your hair's a mess, but you don't mind. You just laugh, let it fall where it likes. Coffee's cold, but we take a sip, talk about nothing. Let the morning slip. Oh, it feels like that, like summer air through window cracks. Oh, it feels.
Okay, so maybe this perfect Instagram shot is not for me, but wow, this area is surreal.
Oh, it feels like that, like the summer rain that falls so slowly on the naked skin upon your.
So, and something to make my son very happy. This bag with the train on it, 800 rupees, which is about 3 euros. I love it.
Yeah, it feels like that. Feels like that. Yeah, it feels like that. Na 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 na. Feels like that. Oh, it feels like that, like summer air through window cracks.
This place, called the Plate by Flower Garden, was actually awarded the best view in Sri Lanka on TripAdvisor.
Quiet tracks. Oh, it feels like that, like the summer rain that falls so slowly on the naked skin upon your back. Oh, it feels like that, like a love song on a worn out track. Yeah, it feels like that.
Our last stop of the day is the Ravana waterfall. It's the one that we can spot from our apartment, but it's also the one that we saw on the way over to Ella. We didn't have too much time back then, so this time we take a little bit more time to see it up close, and we fly with the drone. It's magnificent.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight.
Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Ravana Falls is considered the wildest waterfall in Sri Lanka, always flowing year-round. The main waterfall is around 25 meters tall, but the entire thing cascades over 120 meters in different stages.
No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
We're finally back at the hotel after a day of fun around Ella with all the highlights. This morning the train, then we climbed Little Adams Peak and then we saw the waterfall. It's time for a cold beer and you will always see we had a beautiful sunny day and now it's starting to rain. I love it here in Ella and tomorrow we take the train ride to Kandy. Another adventure. Cheers!
It's hard to say goodbye to this magical place, but we have the last breakfast here at some 1300 meters height and pack our stuff for the next adventure.
The morning sun is shining through the trees. We just had breakfast. We woke up very early and ordered 2 tuk-tuks to take us to Ella train station because today the beautiful train ride to Kandy is about to start. 7 hours of beautiful landscape.
If you ever visit Ella, I can recommend Pearl View Guest House because this lovely family made our stay unforgettable. We are well on time as the tuk-tuks drive us down the mountain to Ella station. Our train departs to Kandy around 9 o'clock. There are normally 3 daily trains running directly to Kandy and we take the second one. Because of the popularity, I advise you to buy the tickets in advance, which can be done online at the Sri Lankan Railway Company.
So this behind me is Ella Station, and it became one of the most popular train stations in Sri Lanka, not only for the locals but especially for the tourists. Because over here you have the beautiful mountain landscape, and the way over here is incredible. It's often voted to be one of the most beautiful train rides in the entire world. From Kandy to Ella or from Ella to Kandy. It takes 7 hours and it takes you through the tea plantations and the beautiful mountain views, and we're gonna embark on that adventure right now. On our way, and you should note that if you want to take the best pictures and have the windows open at all time, you should book a second class seat. This way we paid 3,000 rupees per seat, around €8. At first we thought 7 hours would be a long time to be on a train, especially with the kids. But we soon found out that riding this train is everything but a dull experience. It's both comfortable and adventurous, and a must-do if you want to see Sri Lanka. Jens has been loving trains ever since he was born. So for him as well, this was a memory of a lifetime. Here's a funny fact. The doors stay open the entire time while the train is driving. So we have 7 hours of fun hanging out of the windows and out of the doors. And it's really spectacular what you see on the way. That being said, it's extra important to keep a good eye on your kids. This train is fun, but it's dangerous. We also made sure that someone was always spotting the distance for tunnels and obstacles when we were taking pictures. So safety first, but also look at this gorgeous landscape.
And there are plenty of stops too, so when the train's not riding, Jens could safely copy all those crazy adults hanging out of the train. Hold on to your seats because it's about to get really mystical as we come close to heights around 2,000 meters.
So where in the beginning we saw a lot of tea plantations and high mountain landscapes, we're now actually riding the train through the woods, and the smell over here is delicious. It's still just as spectacular, like deep in the forest. Hello! Coffee!
In the woods we can even spot animals outside. And inside. But hey, everybody's welcome on this train. These stunts are performed by a professional stuntman, so don't try this at home.
Belong to you.
So this scenic railway was built by the British in the 19th century to transport tea from the mountain villages to Colombo. Today we cover 147 kilometers. They say from Ella to Kandy the best place to sit is on the left, but the doors are open on either side for that matter.
I feel like I am falling whenever you're around, and I've been longing for your heat, your touch. Oh, I belong to you. I hope we keep the light to shine. If there's a fire growing strong, I hope we leave the night behind to see the morning come. I hope we keep the light to shine. If there's a fire growing strong, I hope we leave the night behind to see the morning come.
Sometimes the train just stops for a moment and you can get off the train. to have a little picnic or a beer and then quickly go back into the train when it leaves. So yeah, it's not even 12 o'clock, but who cares? I'm on a train, so I need a beer. Cheers.
During these 7 enjoyable hours we are in good hands. Next to our beers we have a well-packed fresh lunch and time is flying by as we get closer to Kandy. Where the first part from Ella to Nuara Elia had the most brilliant mountain views, the second part has many idyllic villages, bridges and green forest hills. Both sections are well worth the time and the effort.
This train actually stops at a lot of local stations in the middle of nowhere, and on every station there are local people getting on the train with a goat and a chicken. Really local, and it's nice to see so much local life on this train today. We see Sri Lanka entirely.
As we are almost there, of course we make the most of our adventure with some drinks and more than enough silly train shots and pictures.
We're here, this is Kandy, almost at the station, and then we're gonna grab a cab and go to our apartment for the next few days. New adventure in Kandy.
We say goodbye to one of the best train rides in the world and enter an entirely different world on the other side. There should be someone waiting for us.
This is quite a change of scenery. We're now in the big city of Kandy, right in the middle of Sri Lanka. Compared to the little mountain village of Ella, this is really something else. So we're trying to find our driver to get to our hotel. And what can I say about Kandy so far? It looks pretty nice. Like really down in the city center. And it's quite busy. This is the driver. So they only had this small van available. It doesn't really matter because we just cuddle up with the 5 of us in the back seat and we're almost at the hotel. Hey! And that's how we got to Kandy, where we booked an Airbnb for the coming 4 nights. It's an entire apartment with 2 bedrooms and a kitchen. Our friends have another one, and we pay only 35 euros a night over here. So we're gonna discover Kandy, but first do some relaxation over here. I'm loving it. As the big city of Kandy can be a bit chaotic, we are just outside the center in a quite tranquil neighborhood.
I woke up in the middle of the night. Na, na, na. And I wondered how you're always right. It gets me.
Oh, and last but not least, let me show you the best feature of this Airbnb, which is the view from the balcony, looking out over the valley around Kandy. Wow!
But you showed me how to believe. Still gets me. When I look back, I can see you're hiding, waiting for a moment to step in. And I'll never understand how you saw it coming. Oh, but I will love you for it all. Yeah, I will love you for it all.
It's pizza time!
We hadn't done that for a while. And for breakfast, we make a soothing morning walk through the valley looking for something a bit more Sri Lankan.
It is hard to share my thoughts.
We're on our way to find some breakfast, which is next door, kind of a Western place, but we also look in the local supermarket. And I can tell you, it is local.
Bleeding heart, it gets me. But I know that you need it all. Ooh, na na na. Just give me some time, 'cause I need to know that you're staying. When I look back, I can see you're hiding.
Local bakery, super nice things. Samosas, all kind of like pastry.
And I'll never understand how you saw it coming.
We just love the Sri Lankan bakeries, and in total we visit about 3 of them, collecting their best stuff.
When I look back, I can see you're hiding, waiting for a moment to step in. Oh, and I'll never understand how you saw it coming. it all. Yeah, I will love you for it all.
Before I forget, there's one last feature here on the roof of our hotel. It's a rooftop pool, and I can tell you, you need one. With temperatures like 35 degrees Celsius, the sun is burning, and I'm going in. Look at the view. How awesome is this place? We do some relaxing over here and get ready to explore the city next. With the drone I can already show you nearby Lake Kandy, and on the other side is the most holy city founded in the 15th century. It is also the last capital of the former Sinhalese kingdom, resisting the Dutch and Portuguese, but finally falling for the British in 1815. Today it is the cultural capital of Sri Lanka with the royal palace and the most sacred temple. The next morning we have two tuk-tuk drivers taking us all around town. This is the easiest and best way to have transport and a guide for around 20 bucks per tuk-tuk. Today we visit the Royal Palace inside the city center of Kandy, and inside the walls we can find the most sacred temple here, which is called the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic. And like the name suggests, inside it still holds a former tooth of their god Buddha. So it's a very sacred, one of the most sacred places in the entire country, and the Sri Lankans still believe that this tooth of Buddha holds a higher power. They even have rituals to offer to Buddha, and we have them 3 times a day, so we're just in time for the first one. Let's go inside. We enter the temple and see the shrine where the tooth of Buddha is held. Inside the temple there are 3 rituals daily. We visit the one at 9:30, it's 9:25, so it's almost about to start. And the ceremony is called the Buddha Puja, where the sacred tooth is carried in and monks offer jasmine flowers and meals to Buddha. So it's very, very important, this ritual, and we're here to see it. It's unbelievable how many Buddhists from all over Sri Lanka and the world visit this place of pilgrimage. The tooth is never exposed, and its golden casket holding it is only carried out once per year during an enormous festival. I'm getting some Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom vibes. Kalima. We can spot the bright golden casket as the people bring their offerings to the monks. We spent some more time exploring Mahawasala, the royal palace that was built in stages from the 14th century.
Slipping through my fingers, can't recall all the days as the ocean falls and rises. So does life have to change? Don't buy plastic flowers when I die. Go somewhere, spend it well, live your life. And if you mourn me.
We continue at Queen's Hotel, the former residence of the British governor and the oldest hotel in Sri Lanka.
Don't buy plastic flowers when I'm gone. All the world, she's getting older, and she can't recall her age. As the flowers die in winter, I guess she has to spend that way.
We're off to see the next place.
Buy plastic flowers when I die.
We make our way into the mountains around Kandy, and on the first hilltop we see the stupa called Asgiri Mahaseya. It's a beautiful stupa with inside paintings of the life of Buddha, some relics as well. The outside is beautiful, but you should see the inside. Take a look.
Outside, this is one of the best photo spots, also thanks to these two young monks.
When I meet you by the graveside, I'll hope you brought the real.
And inside, I find the Sri Lankan Sistine Chapel. So beautiful.
Don't buy plastic flowers when I die.
Way up on one of the high hilltops around Kandy we find another temple, one of the most sacred ones in the entire country, especially because it has a big Buddha statue that you can see from the entire town. This one is called Sri Maha Bodhi Viharaya, I just learned it, and it has the tallest Buddha statue in all of the country, so it's well worth a visit. The big Buddha of 27 meters high was built from 1980 to 1992, so it was quite the project. There are some steps so we can even go all the way up to Buddha's head, from where you have the greatest view in Kandy, of course. Look at it. Magnificent. The last place that I want to show you guys today is the most beautiful viewpoint on the old city center of Kandy. Behind me is Kandy Lake and this is Kandy Viewpoint, and you can also see the temple of the tooth relic there in the back. What a view! With some samosas to go, we are back at the hotel on the hottest day of our trip. So a dive into the rooftop pool is no luxury at all. On a much cooler day, we explored the lakeside in the eastern part of Kandy. This relaxed suburb is also worth a visit.
Come on, let me hear you say, let's go undercover.
We pay a visit to the local playground in the city center, and where I normally refer to the kids as little monkeys, this one actually has little monkeys walking around, wild ones. All of a sudden I see one on the bench over here. Look.
For dinner, we can recommend the Hideout Lodge. This newer and very hip restaurant is a must visit in Kandy. The following day we are up early for the next part of our journey. But before we leave the Kandy area, there is a big highlight we want to visit nearby.
So we left Kandy behind, but on our way back to the west of Sri Lanka we find one more top site, which is the Botanical Gardens of Peradeniya, the Royal Botanical Gardens that were founded in 1822, and you can find 4,000 different species of plants and flowers over here. Especially orchids, they specialize in that. So we make a fun walk and see all the beautiful plants today. Let's go!
As foreigners, we pay around €8 to see this plant paradise. That's about 60 hectares.
One of the most fascinating places you can find over here is the orchid house, where there are so many different kinds that I didn't even know they existed.
This place reminds me a bit of Alice in Wonderland, doesn't it?
Walking through the park we see a lot of nice lanes with beautiful tall palm trees alongside of it, and the most gorgeous one is the Royal Palm Avenue. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of Instagrammers trying to take the perfect picture over here. But it is gorgeous though.
I will be the last to leave. I won't say a word, just let you breathe. I won't make a sound, I won't slow you down. I knew we were on borrowed time, just a passing streak, nothing you will keep. I fell in too deep. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended.
Also very beautiful to see are these giant patches of bamboo groves. You can walk among the bamboo trees that are like maybe 10 times my size. So 40,000 species of plants. When you walk around here, you expect it to be even more because it's so different everywhere you enter a different area with different plants. Really fascinating.
As they fall once more. In the silence we made, I couldn't find the words to say. They linger in my mind. Oh, I wished you'd stay. Oh, I wished you'd stay. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky.
Our walk around the beautiful park ends here at the lake, which is the last site that we visit here. And then we move on to Negombo with the taxi van, but I wanted to tell you that it's really worth it to make a stop here in the Royal Botanical Gardens, because you see so many incredible things, a lot of monkeys, lizards, butterflies, and of course all the beautiful plants. So I can recommend it, and it's cheap as well, so why not?
Last goodbye.
Oh, and do stop at the little restaurant outside for the spicy chicken wraps.
Last goodbye. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on the last goodbye.
After the Royal Botanical Gardens of Kandy, we drove about 3 hours west to get to Negombo. This is where our trip started in the first place, through the south of Sri Lanka about 3 weeks ago. So before we go to the Maldives for another 2 weeks, we have this place, a villa with a beautiful swimming pool behind me, so I wish we had more days here, but we'll be back after the Maldives.
Join us next time for some island hopping in paradise as we explore the Maldives. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, because there is so much more coming. Ciao!